They had just escaped a Grey Goo scenario, a world being digested by runaway nanites. When Elias felt the familiar agonizing pressure behind his sternum, he didn't scream anymore, he just braced himself. "Mara, Jax, anchor," he barked, his voice gravelly from inhaling silicate dust. The snap was instantaneous. They materialized not on chrome, but on a slab of cracked black obsidian. The air was thin, freezing, and tasted of ancient copper. They were in the silent necropolis, a world where the atmosphere had frozen solid centuries ago and then thawed into a ghostly, thin veil. Massive skyscrapers built from a material that looked like smoked glass lay toppled like the ribcage of a dead god. There was no wind, no sound, just the absolute, crushing silence of a forgotten tomb. "Grounding check," Jax grunted, checking the seals on his oxygen scavenger. He was broader now, his face scarred from a run-in with a warlord in a desert world jump. "Elias, you're shaking level out." "I'm trying." Elias gasped, clutching his chest. "This place, it feels empty. Not just no people empty, like the universe forgot to keep the lights on here." Mara knelt, running a gloved hand over the obsidian. She looked at her handheld scanner. The dead-end timeline, total entropic collapse. We need to move before the cold leaches the kinetic energy right out of our cells. The overlap. Before they could prep for a controlled jump, the reality shuddered. This wasn't a ripple. This was a phase shift. The black obsidian beneath them flickered for a heartbeat. It was replaced by scorched red sand and the skeletal remains of a sprawling industrial complex. Then it snapped back to the frozen city. "Phase drift!" Mara shouted, drawing her sidearm. "Two post-apocalyptic echoes are fighting for the same coordinate." The shifts became faster. The silence of the necropolis was interrupted by bursts of roaring fire and the mechanical shriek of grinding metal from the overlapping world. One moment, they were standing in a frozen graveyard. The next, they were in the middle of the Scourge Lands, a world where the sun had expanded, turning the earth into a brutal, steampunk forge. "We've got company," Jax yelled. From the shifting shadows emerged the scavenger husks in the Scourge world. They were cyborgs fueled by desperate solar steam tech. In the necropolis world, they were frozen, mummified remains because of the phase shift. They were both flickering, screaming entities of rusted iron and frost-bitten flesh, caught between two ways to die. The creatures lunged, their movements jittery and frame-breaking as they phased in and out of existence. A desperate leap. "Elias, we can't fight something that isn't fully in our dimension." Mara fired a shot, the bullet passing through a husk as it flickered into the frozen timeline. "Punch us out. Anywhere but here." "I can't find a lock," Elias cried, his eyes glowing with the pale blue light of the rift. "The overlapping timelines are jamming the frequency." Jax stepped in front of them, swinging a heavy rebar club at a husk that had solidified long enough to be hit. "Then stop looking for a frequency and break the radio. Force it, Elias." Elias closed his eyes. He didn't just feel the panic. He harnessed the trauma of every dead world they had left behind. He reached into the center of his being, where the rift lived, and tore at it. The ripple didn't just radiate, it exploded. The trio vanished as the two dying worlds collided in a final, silent flash of white. They slammed into a new reality. Hard, the air here was thick, wet, and smelled of ozone and overgrown rot. They were in a jungle, but the trees were rusted radio towers covered in a thick, pulsating violet moss in the distance. The ruins of a massive dome stood like a shattered eggshell. "Status," Jax coughed, pulling himself out of a bank of bioluminescent ferns. "We're alive," Mara said. Checking her gear, she looked up at the sky. There were 3 moons, and one of them was shattered. "Welcome to the overgrowth epoch. Looks like humanity lost the war against nature here about 1,000 years ago." Elias sat on a rusted girder, his hands still blowing faintly. At least the ground is solid. For now, Jax muttered, looking at a giant, multi-limbed shadow moving to the canopy. Let's move, this world feels hungry. The desperate leap.